Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about the Devil's Advocate and camping. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with this series, the Devil's Advocate is essentially arguing for something that you don't believe in, or from the perspective of somebody else, either just for the sake of argument, for clarity's sake, and sometimes in order to force yourself to see something through a different perspective that you wouldn't normally be able to do. And today's topic is camping. It's almost always something that you don't like or don't believe in, and camping is something that I absolutely don't like, I don't believe in, and I very rarely do it, but you are going to see me do it today. And I'm going to tell you that pretty much everybody hates campers. I've been playing first-person shooters for a very, very long time, and off the top of my head, I can't think of a single shooter outside of maybe Arma, and that's like a military sim, where camping is encouraged. Back in Counter-Strike days, people hated campers all the time. The campers weren't very popular in Halo, going prone and sitting in corners. Here in Call of Duty, they're definitely not popular. I can't think of a single Call of Duty player that likes campers or camping outside of Wings of Redemption. That's kind of his specialty. And, you know, even in League of Legends, which is an overhead MOBA, kind of like an RTS-styled thing, people still hate bushwookie campers that just hide in the stealth bushes all the time. And the question is, why? Why do we hate campers? What do they do that's so bad? And the better question is, why do people that hate camping use the tactic? Because there are people that hate camping like with a passion, yet they'll still do it when it's necessary. The gameplay that you see here is about to take a radical shift. If you can see, I'm not doing very well with the akimbo pistols here on Nuketown, which is my least favorite map in the game. I like to call this map, Yo Dog, I heard you like spawns, so we put spawns in your spawn so you can get spawn killed while you spawn, and it gets really chaotic. It was double EXP weekend, so people voted for it to get their free and easy points, but we're going to start losing, so I'm going to adjust my tactics, and I'm going to play extremely campy, and I am playing with two other members here, and it is a team effort, but I would like to think that one single act that I do single-handedly through camping changes this game, and that's when I camp my way to a swarm, and when we get a swarm, we're going to demolish them and get all the objectives and make a very, very narrow comeback. Now, firstly, I'm going to talk about a few negative things about camping, even though we're supposed to do the positive first, because I'm sure a few of you are already fired up and angry at me for camping, or will be camping. And that is, the skill cap on camping is very low. Let's be honest about that. It doesn't take a lot of skill to camp. It's not a very a high pro-level kind of tactic. Usually you're only going to get 1 or 2 kills, and then somebody's going to come and kill you and mop you up, and you're not really doing your whole team a whole lot of good. And in the context of a game, because this is a video game, this is not real life, and it's not really that serious unless you're on Optic or Phase or Envy or something, then it's not a big deal. But you are ruining the fun for other people. Other people would like to play this run-and-gun, cowboy, western, military shoot-'em-up kind of thing, and you're sitting way in the back of the map, hiding behind some bushes, hosing everybody, and just kind of destroying their fun, which isn't a very nice thing to do. And some games, depending on which Call of Duty or which shooter you want to reference, a lot of people believe were made too camper-friendly, and doing this is unfair, overpowered, and you're just generally spoiling the fun for everybody else. Whereas in the real military, the exact opposite of this is true. Military units camp, and I'll say that in quotation marks because it's not like they sit in a corner and wait, though they do that, and if you're doing urban combat, because you have to be stealthy and quiet, and they will camp for days, weeks on occasion. They'll just kind of post up behind some sort of cover, dig in, dig tight, you know, they use those shovels to dig holes so that they can literally camp into the ground, and they do that for cover because they like to live, because in the real actual army, you only got one life, and when you die, you're done for good, and that's why I would say it's encouraged in Arma, because that's the kind of game type that you really have to play. And if you think about it, it's a very common strategy. Like, remember Normandy, those Nazis? They're just a bunch of dirty, stinking campers sitting up there with their machine guns and their pillboxes. They should have come out on the beach and had a good old shoot 'em up. Nah, let's not do that. What the Nazis did do at Normandy is they forced the Allies to play by their rules, and that's exactly what you're doing in the video game, and that's one of the main benefits of camping. It's kind of like a Sun Tzu thing where, you know, you want to make the enemy fight where you want him to fight, and when you're camping, exactly what I'm doing here in the window, I'm forcing my enemy to engage me in one of very few places where I very clearly have the advantage in the gunfight, and it's a very low probability that I'm going to lose a gunfight or get killed, and by doing this, you're forcing them not only to play on your field, but you're forcing them to play by your rules, and you're giving yourself a huge advantage in doing so. On top of this, you narrow your focus and the amount of things that you have to do. If you're out there ground pounding, you have to run, you have to aim down sights, you have to snap to targets, you have to throw your grenades, you have to stun check, you have to save your teammates, you have to move, you have to duck, dodge, climb, all these sort of things. While I'm camping, I really only gotta shoot. Depending on some situations, I might have to pop up and down from the window or something, but I don't have to do a whole lot besides just aim down my sights, focus what I'm doing, and, pay attention to what's right in front of me. And that's a very easy thing to do, especially in this game with the target finder. That makes it so easy. But with increased focus, you're going to be able to control what you're doing better. And ideally, since you don't have to worry about all of these other things, you'll be able to shoot better. Good campers, and there are good campers. I don't mean good campers and ones that don't die, but I mean ones that are good for the team. They can control key points on the map and completely and totally lock them down. On Nuketown here, your sniper and LMG campers can go prone over on the right side and lock down the B flag. You can get a guy up here in the window, kind of like what I'm doing. He can take out their window. I unfortunately can't see the B flag very well from this window, but they can control parts of the bus, and they can also control that stupid, annoying, exploding car over there on the left side. But once the car blows up, you can move over to the left side and control the entire access to the B flag. You might not be able to see the B flag that clearly, but you're going to be able to shoot every single thing that comes toward the B flag. And in doing so, you can control and safeguard key objectives on the map. You can get a lot of defend kills, and that is a good thing to do when you're playing objective modes. When you're playing team deathmatch, it's a little bit different. You want to control popular areas, popular lines of sight, spawns, that sort of thing. But in this, it's all about the objectives, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do most of the time. I've actually got a different tactic right now. Via camping, you can also control key spawns for your team. As long as you are camped and anchored into a place, an anchor like a pro anchor, they can't spawn you on the opposite side of the map. You're going to spawn in a good spawn where you want them to be. You're not going to get flipped all about. So if I can anchor myself like a pro player and control this area, we're not going to get spawn flipped. But I'm also going for streaks. As you can see, I'm getting closer and closer to this swarm, and camping for streaks can be a good thing. And I'm serious about this. Like, people that camp and go for high kill streaks are not necessarily playing the game bad, as long as they're doing this with the goal of winning. Right now, I have decided that I cannot beat these people in gunfights out there. I don't have the right stuff on. It's not working for me today. I'm getting pounded by their campers and their LMG guys and their, target finding, because there's plenty of it. So I decided to sit in this building and camp it out until I get a swarm, and when the swarm is in the air, there is nothing they can do about it, and we can retake the B flag and start our comeback. That's what I did. Now, at this point in the game, you're going to get to see a pretty radical change. I can't really go outside because my own swarm will kill me, but once the swarm's away, I'm going to move up and try and camp the B flag and hold that objective down. And if you do this with the purpose of winning for your team, with the purpose of helping your team with these kill streaks, it's not a bad thing. Unfortunately, I think about 99% of people that camp could care less about the team and only their own streaks, which is very unfortunate because some of them could be helping the team a lot. Now, in pro competitive play, having a teammate that I wouldn't say entirely camps in the same way that you do in public matches, but definitely does camp and control areas would be called an anchor. And the anchor's job is to control the spawns, not just the spawn flipping, but he wants to guarantee that his team gets a good spawn, that they're going to spawn close to the objectives, they're not going to get spawned in a crappy or unfavorable area, and he's going to do this by breaking out an assault rifle, breaking out those trophy systems, planting his butt there, not dying, and killing anybody that comes into the zone, and that's a camper. That's exactly what some people do in pubs. It's a little bit harder to do in pubs to anchor because it's a little bit crazier. There's more people, there's more flopping back and forth and that sort of thing. But it is a valid tactic. Now that you can see, I no longer need to camp for streaks. I no longer need to control the map because my teammates are pushed up. What we have to do is control the B flag for almost the entire time. If we let them get the B flag for more than a second or two, we're going to lose. So even though I've got the same annoying target finding, definitely overpowered gun, I'm moving up and I'm trying to control the B flag. I'm essentially camping the B flag. I'm trying to get a lot of defend kills. I don't even think I'm going to be at the top of the scoreboard here, but I'm pretty sure that swarm helped us win by a long shot. It says on the right side. I'm controlling the right side of the map. There's really nothing they can do to challenge that B flag while I'm hosing everything in the world down. Now, there are definitely some bad things about campers. Having a whole team of campers is very bad. It's annoying. It's good for nobody, really. If every single person on your team camps, you're not going to be able to get any objectives. You can do this a little bit in team deathmatch, but even in team deathmatch, if everybody camps, you have essentially no mobility, and the other guys can kind of encircle you and wallbang you and close you in and this sort of thing, and it's not very good. You ideally only want to have one, maybe two campy type people on your team tops. That's how the pros do it. One, that's the reason I would say the same thing. And you need the other people actually out in the fight doing something. And the people that camp are actually doing something useful. They're watching a sight line, an objective. The people that sit in the very back of their spawns and just kill you when you come in the spawn. They're not helping anything. There are other people that camp in the weirdest, most pointless little spots and nooks and crannies and bushes and just wait for one person to walk by so they can shoot them and then run off for no other purpose or goal than just trolling and killing that one person so they can feel so good about themselves for that one kill. That's not helping anybody. That is not helping anything at all. Matter of fact, that's a major detriment to the team to have to play with people like that, because they're just going to sit there for minutes, hours, maybe months, years, I don't know what the mindset is, and do nothing beneficial. So do keep in mind, camping can be a good thing when done responsibly. You can camp an objective, you can camp to control a spawn, you can camp to safeguard your teammates, you can control a popular area on the map, and you can be a major asset to your team. That being said, it's not a tactic for all the time, all the place. You only need one camper, and bushwookies in the back of the map are definitely no fun at all. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the commentary, and I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.